Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveENODING. In this episode, I will be doing an improvisation, trying to recreate these animations from scratch. So you might look at it, okay, and thinking, okay, this is really quite complex, but it's actually quite simple. Each part of this is just this tile that's made of a sine wave, and each one of them is rotating with a slight offset. So it's a really simple, and it's actually looping. My setup allows it to loop depending on whatever frame numbers you have. It's gonna try to loop it. Okay, so yeah, let's start from scratch. The actual nodes actually is just looking something like this. It's not that complicated, so yeah, let's get started. First of all, if you are new to procedural animations and procedural modeling, don't be afraid. It's actually quite simple. So we're gonna use oscillator nodes. So this node will allows us to create sine wave. We already know this, you know the drill, number range, and we just set it to count, start, stop. Just plug this in. So we are generating number of a bunch of numbers, and we want to use this to create a wave pattern. So we gonna grow this in the x-axis, and it's gonna go up and down in the z-axis. So as a result, we're gonna have these points. So if you increase the points, it seems to be growing, but we just actually need the numbers to be between 0 and 1. And if you want to adjust this, you can adjust the period, etc., and amplitude. So that's fine. We probably need a number that can be plugged into the count and the period. So this should be some kind of default preset. File, save as improv wave. So let's set this to 2, and the number of points just 12, and amplitude to 1. We only have a bunch of points here. We want to have an actual object, so we're gonna use UV connection node, turn it into points and edges. Okay, so this one, maybe increase the number.
That's not enough.
And then from here, we're gonna extrude the edge. 1, 2, 3, and extrude it. Let's try extruding it in the y-axis. So we have real objects. But extruding, of course, it's unless we want to offset it, it's not centered. So this object is not centered. A quick way to do it, to center it out, is to use vector drop. So this will center the objects, but the rotation is kind of funky. So we're gonna try to just rotate it very quickly in what axis? X. 90 degrees. So we have our objects. So we can control the amplitude. We can still play around with the face, things like that. Oh, it's actually popping. Oh, that's interesting. But anyway, we don't care about that for now. So from here, we actually kind of already halfway there. If you want to make this to go around in a circle, I already told you quite often, you just need to use matrix normal and circle. Plug this into location and normal. This goes into the matrix. So we're gonna have this result. Kind of like a tile of objects with a slight, yeah, we have full control of these objects. So what we want to do next is probably just the rotations. So for the rotations, let's save this very quickly. So we can actually animate these ups and down, things like that. We can use matrix math and plug another matrix here and try to rotate this. So you can make this ups and down, going up and down. Let's try. Sometimes I'm not 100% sure to use pre or pause, but we're gonna try it anyway. So if we want to make it goes ups and down, we can use the wave functions. So frame goes into the wave oscillator, plug this into the Z. So currently we only have a single value and it's not doesn't seem to be moving. We need to use a bit of scalar math here so it has room to move ups and down. But we only have a single value. You can see here we have 12 value that creates the circular positions. We want to make it goes ups and down, so we need to offset this. Maybe add will do the job, and range number. So let's make it 12, and each one of them is being offset. So this is what we get very quickly. So you can really play around with this and get the wave motion that you want. So this actually, there's value that makes you that gives you the perfect kind of wave that you want. But this is like going ups and down, right? We want it to be rotating. So in order to rotate it, we can perhaps do this and rotate it using the angle. So the angle should rotate in a certain directions. Yeah, maybe x-axis. Okay, x-axis give you that, so it's up to you where you want to rotate it. But the same deal. We just need to use a number range and rotate it. So okay, basically frame, right? Frame and offset. So we have a frame number goes into the angle. Let's turn off the ups and down here. We just want to rotate it, and we add or offset the number using multiple value. Something like that. So this goes there, and we can then rotate it. So that's pretty much how you recreate the setup. And if you want it to be 100% looping, there is a way. This is the angle, right? This is the frame number. If I make it from 1 to 100, still it's not gonna loop, it's gonna pop. If we use evaluate, actually it might just work. So map range. This is the evaluate value. Evaluate is gonna give you value between 0 and 1, and the ending should be 360. And I think this should do the job. So there you go. No matter how long your animations, it's gonna loop perfectly. Okay. So right. So that's how you do it. If you want a bit of thickness, you can of course do that as well. And if you ever want to replace the instance with anything, you can. You can actually just use the object instancer, and the objects can be anything, like monkey head, and you just plug in the matrix. I think it should work. Right. So yeah, you have this animation that you can bake now. So there you go. That's how you create this uh, procedural animations. Hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know if you have any more questions, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.